to come from this coalition we're seeing here, and I don't see it having traction. So the only option for any politician today is actually APC. It's unfortunate. That is not what it should be. I like to see a strong opposition politics in Nigeria, because you know what that does? Even the little things that Soludo is doing today was the pressure coming from me as an opposition. If you leave an incumbent without any accountability report, guess what? They're going to just become a dictator. I like to see a strong opposition. So now that we don't have that, let's join, and I'm going to at some point call on the youth of Nigeria, let's troop into APC and be a force for good. That's the only option we've got today, until we have leaders who are selfless enough to come together for a common good. Then things will begin to balance.
Valentine Ozigbo is a former governorship aspirant in Anambra State under the Labour Party. He recently decamped to APC and contested the APC governorship primaries, and as expected, he lost the primaries because he joined APC a few weeks before the governorship primaries. Now he's advocating for the youths to join APC en masse to form what he calls a force. Is Valentine confused? On one hand, he's calling for a strong opposition to hold the party in power accountable, to make sure they don't become dictators. On the other hand, he's calling on Nigerians or the youths to join APC en masse, which will effectively kill the remaining opposition, which will effectively make sure that no one remains in the opposition. What does he want? You see, Valentine Ozigbo doesn't have the moral ground to preach to Nigerians to form a formidable opposition when he himself left the opposition to join the ruling party. Nearly 100% of the people joining APC today are joining because of their selfish interests. Because obviously APC is not performing. They are not doing anything better than they met it, especially under the Tinubu administration. They've worsened Nigeria's economy right from Buhari's time. All the metrics you can use to check on the economy, they are all in the negative. So anyone joining cannot tell Nigerians with a bold face that he's joining to help them deliver good governance to Nigerians. No, they are all joining because they feel that if they are in APC, no one can rig them out. They will be the riggers themselves. So it's either Valentine is being hypocritical or he's on a mission to recruit more people for APC. There's no two ways about it. Someone that decamped based on his personal interests. He's desperate to become Anambra State governor. There is this zoning in Anambra State governorship elections. Like every other state, there are 3 senatorial districts in Anambra State. The current governor, Chukwuma Soludo, is from the South Senatorial District, the same district as Valentine Ozigbo. Soludo's predecessor, Willie Obiano, is from Anambra North Senatorial District. He spent 8 years, and if Soludo wins his second term, he will complete his 8 years, and the zoning arrangement will go back to Central Senatorial, which is the senatorial district of Peter Obi. So Valentine Ozigbo, being in his early 50s, will have to wait for 16 years. That's assuming the zoning arrangement continues to hold true, because APGA is the party in power. If they lose power to another party by any means, the zoning arrangement might change. So Valentine Ozigbo will have to wait till 16 years. By that time, he will be in his early 70s. So you can understand why Valentine Ozigbo is very desperate to become the governor of Anambra State. He's also challenging the result of the APC governorship primaries. Who knows, if he wins in court, that might put him back on the ticket and he will face Soludo in the November governorship election. The last time he contested the governorship under the Labour Party, he won only one local government area. That's Obaru local government area. While many might argue that politics in itself is a selfish adventure, once someone declares his interest to run for office, he effectively wants to put himself in that office, and he might go a long way, even decamping to different parties to achieve that dream. Even P2P decamped from PDP to APGA, APGA back to PDP, and now in Labour Party. Although it might be understandable, the reason he decamped in the first instance, nearly 70% of PDP members decamped en masse to the newly formed APGA in Anambra State in the early 2000s. This was because they were frustrated that after conducting the governorship primaries 3 times, and after convincing Obasanjo and the party leadership of PDP at the time that the then governor Chinwoke Mbanduju was a bad market, Under him, primary school teachers went on strike for about 8 months or thereabout. So effectively, the party leadership, including Obasanjo himself, wanted to determine who becomes the governor, who carries the party's ticket. So they decamped to Abga en masse in protest to the leadership of the party. They effectively told them, hey, if you don't want us who suffered for this party the past 4 years, we work for the party, continue to convince people that the party will still win the election despite the woeful performance of Odera at that time. You still don't want us to determine the person who will be the governorship candidate, then we will do that in another party. That was what happened, and they won the election with Peter Obi, and as you all know, the PDP governorship candidate, Chris Ngige, stole the election with his allies, and Peter Obi had to go to court, spent about 2 years and some months to retrieve his mandate. Now, when he decamped from ABGA back to PDP, it was because ABGA isn't a national party. Yes, you cannot achieve national aspirations when you are in a local party. Also, the reason ABGA exists up till today in Anambra State is because nearly all the heavyweight politicians at the grassroots level belong to ABGA. That's why it's very difficult to defeat them at the state level. Even the current governor, Chukwuma Soludo, had to join ABGA before achieving his dream of becoming the governor, after Peter Obi defeated him when he contested against him from the PDP. Also remember that nearly all the founding members of ABGA in Anambra State were originally PDP members. If it wasn't because of Obasanjo's meddling in the early 2000s, including the PDP leadership, all of them will still be in PDP today. Also, Peter Obi's last decamp from PDP to Labour Party, if he didn't make that move, he wouldn't have been on the ballot in 2023. He already knew that they wouldn't give him the ticket in PDP. That was why he decamped. And if he hadn't decamped, he wouldn't have the opportunity to contest for the presidency again until after 16 years. He made the Labour Party move because he knew he stood a chance, unlike Valentine Ozigbo, who didn't even know many people in the APC before decamping, a party where there were many people already, many contestants already vying for the ticket, and you just jumped ship, came into the party a few weeks to the election, and you think you can win. You can't compare this to how Peter Obi was being begged. In fact, many rallies were held at the PDP headquarters where they were begging them to give them Peter Obi.
PDP, give us Obi! PDP, give us Obi! PDP, give us Obi! PDP, give us Obi!
All the people that were rallying at the time weren't even PDP members. They were just people who believed in Peter Obi. They wanted him to be on the ballot, and all of them trooped into Labour Party with him. You can't say the same thing about Valentine Ozigbo. So there are levels to this. There are genuine reasons politicians must decamp from one party to the other. If they don't decamp, their political careers might come to an end. Some might say, Tinubu never decamped since the Fourth Republic. He's been in one party, only mergers, and eventually still in the same party. No, the major reason he didn't decamp to any other party was because if he decamped, he wouldn't be in control. You know he loves to be in control, whether financial or otherwise. You can't come into a new party as a new member and start ordering people around and start flying money around and thinking that they will obey you. No, that was the reason he didn't decamp. And that was the same reason he gave his party ticket to others, Atiku Abubakar and Nuhu Ribadu. He knew his party at the time couldn't win a national election. It was basically a regional party. They only controlled Southwest. And as such, if they don't go into an alliance with another party, they can never capture the federal. In conclusion, Valentine Ozigbo should understand one thing. It is better for a man to stand alone once he's speaking the truth. Based on his convictions and principles alone, he should stand alone rather than join a party that have brought nothing but hardship and suffering to Nigerians. He is still a youth. What is stopping him from galvanizing and mobilizing Nigerians to demand change? If he truly believes that Nigerians should join APC in order to demand that change from within, how is he sure that the freedoms Nigerians don't enjoy under this administration, that they will enjoy it once they join APC? No. The herd mentality will start. They will start supporting everything the party is doing because they cannot go against their party. Yes. So it's better for Nigerians, including Valentine Ozigbo, to fight from outside. The failings of the opposition, the PDP and other parties, Nigerians should learn from it and form a formidable force against the party in power, not join them. No, it is folly to think that you can dine with the devil and win. No, you cannot. So, like already said, it's either he's trying to mobilize and recruit more people for APC, or he's just confused. He doesn't know what he wants. Thanks for watching.